Alright, so Tausif, what's going on?
Just in a lot of pain, you know, like ever since the procedure, it's just been hurting a lot. I've been taking painkillers and stuff, but I don't know what to do with all the pain.
Honestly, Tausif, I didn't recommend this at all. I was totally against it, but you wanted to go ahead and do it, so here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be done. I had no other choice. How'd the sale go, though? By the way, like everything went okay.
The sale there's a good demand for these things, so it's all done, sold within 24 hours.
Okay, so at least hey, it'll be worth it once the package comes in. So, yeah.
Package?
Hi, Tausif?
Yeah.
This is for you.
It's here. Yes. You never know when you're gonna need to unbox something. Oh yeah. Okay. It's finally here. It's Apple Watch ceramic, baby. Yeah.
Oh. You sold the kidney for that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a sad story. I had to take out a mortgage to get the iPhone 11, and then I didn't have anything else, so I mean, I had to do the kidney.
Also, just to make a quick disclaimer, because Dr. Malik really does love his job, Dr. Malik in no way, shape, or form condones, supports, beliefs, or practices in the selling of organs, as it is highly illegal and detrimental to health. LOL. What is up, guys? My name is Tausif Hussain, and today we're talking about the most expensive watch Apple sells, the Apple Watch Series 5 in ceramic. I've actually been really excited for this watch, even more so than the actual iPhone 11 and 11 Pro, and partially because I've never owned a ceramic watch or even seen one face to face. I mean, this is the most expensive watch Apple sells, and wait for it, if you're here in Canada, it will run you about $2,000 including taxes, which is, yeah, pretty mind-boggling. So I was very curious as to why this watch costs so much. That being said, I've owned this watch since launch date, so for nearly a month now, and here are my thoughts on it. Okay, so let's start off by seeing what exactly we get in the box. The Apple Watch Ceramic is considered an Apple Edition watch, and therefore the unboxing experience is slightly different compared to the other watches Apple sells. The main difference comes when you open the box and you take a peek inside the packaging. You basically get an extra band with all the Apple Watch Edition watches. Each of these straps are a special edition and they come with a color matched pin, so you actually cannot buy this outside. Unfortunately, that's where the physical differences end, of course, other than the actual watch finish. Other than that, the only differences include a special edition color for this particular watch face. Now, I was pretty disappointed that Apple didn't include anything different or anything else with the Apple Watch Edition watches other than the extra band, and I really think that Apple should have done a little bit more, at least for the ceramic edition, because it is the most expensive watch you're going to buy from Apple. Therefore, the unboxing experience or something extra inside the box would have helped justify the purchase maybe just a tiny bit in our minds. Okay, so now let's talk about the design. Now, it's interesting to note that this is pretty much the only discerning factor between the most expensive watch Apple sells and the cheapest watch you can buy from Apple, which is the aluminum model. Now, the main difference between both of these is the actual materials that are used to make the watch. For example, in the aluminum model, the casing is obviously made of aluminum, and the glass is a little bit weaker, and it's made with something called Ion X glass. I really gotta say though, having owned pretty much all the other models, all the other finishes of the Apple watches previously, so I've had the aluminum, I've had the stainless steel, I've had even the titanium, I gotta say, this ceramic one is by far the best looking model, at least to my eyes. It literally glimmers with any light hitting it, and the glossy white finish just makes the watch look so clean. It's gorgeous. The finish on this is super smooth, and although super glossy white, it doesn't show any fingerprints, and it's striking at how white it is. It's got this pearl white sort of finish that honestly, you just gotta take a look at it in person to really appreciate it. The camera just doesn't do it justice.
But what I wanted to know was, why is this watch nearly 4 times the amount of an entry-level smartwatch from Apple? And what makes ceramic so special? Why is it so expensive? And to answer that question, I did a little bit of research. Firstly, I discovered that ceramics are a lot more durable than metals, and for this reason, they're less likely to scratch or dent. However, as with everything, there are pros and cons. Where the ceramic is durable to dents and scratches, it lacks in ductility, which means ceramic is more brittle and it is more likely to basically crack compared to metals. However, this usually depends on how porous the ceramic is. So a general rule of thumb with ceramics is the more porous a ceramic is, the more likely it is to crack. For example, brick. This is a type of ceramic as well, and it has larger pores, which means that it is more susceptible to cracking. So if you've ever dropped a brick before and it's just pretty much shattered, it's because it's got large pores. And to avoid this, watchmakers like Rado and Rolex, what they do is, and even Apple, what they do is they use ceramics with very fine pores, and that allows the ceramic to be a lot less brittle.
Now it begs the question, will it actually shatter if dropped excessively or from a high place? Probably, but I'm not willing to find out.
No. I'm just not rich enough to do that. Nope, not happening.
Now, because of all of this and how pure the materials are and the difficulty in sintering them together, that's what makes ceramic much more expensive. Okay, so now that we have somewhat of an understanding of what exactly ceramic is, who exactly will this watch appeal to? And in my opinion, it will appeal to one of 3 kinds of people. Number 1, someone who is an avid smartwatch user, has been using smartwatches, and they're used to using the black, gold, and silver watches that Apple has released in the past few generations, and they're kind of tired of that look, and they just really want something different. Number 2, someone who really likes the way the watch looks. Maybe they love the character of it, the clean lines, the way it pops on your wrist, and the way you can pair it with different watch bands, which traditionally wouldn't look as good on, let's say, a black body for the casing. And last but not least, someone who just wants to flex. Okay, so I've kind of been raving about the looks of this watch. However, there are a few other downsides to discuss as well, which I'm going to get into right now. Okay, so number 1, I found that opinions on this watch are super divided. So you have the camp that knows Apple Watches, and because they know Apple Watches, they know how rare this is, so as soon as they see it, they're like, I want to check that out, can I see it? And then you have the other camp that doesn't know Apple Watches, and they're kind of split right down the middle. So I would literally carry around this white Apple Watch ceramic and the space black titanium, and I would go around asking people, and half the people said that they preferred the white one because it popped and it was different and it looked really nice, and then the other half said that they didn't like how much the white one popped and they would prefer the black one because it was cleaner and more formal, or it was just easier to match with your clothing and it didn't just look out of place. So I mean, honestly, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and this one is a toss-up. Number 2, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, is that matching straps to this watch is an art form. And I think if you went with, for example, something with a black casing, it's a little safer because majority of the people will think that maybe a black leather band or like a brown leather band will look good with the black watch. However, with the white one, I found that it was pretty much a toss-up. Okay, so here's the bottom line. Even if you get past the price of this watch, people either love it or people dislike it. So one thing's for sure, it's not for everyone. Me personally, I think it's a darn good looking watch and I absolutely adore it. And personally, the look that this watch has, I honestly don't think you can get that with any other watch Apple offers in its lineup. It's just so distinct, as opposed to the other watches like the aluminum, titanium are pretty similar in look. So if you were to look at it from a distance or even somewhat close by, you can't really tell much of a difference. They all look like black watches, right? So I think this watch really gives that distinct look that maybe some people really want with their jewelry. But like I said earlier, there's also a few hurdles that you kind of got to get over, right? For example, price tag is pretty insane and it puts it up strongly in contention with other luxury brands. And secondly, it's got a very distinct look to it, and you kind of got to pay attention to what straps you're using and what you're wearing it with. But if you're okay with those things and you fall into one of those 3 categories I mentioned earlier, and you got the money lying around, or you've somehow justified the price tag by either selling or earning through other means, then by all means, you're gonna love the watch. It's absolutely gorgeous. And worst case scenario, you can flip it. I'm all about that flip life. Legit, I've spent over a decade buying and selling P2P to know that Apple products, for the most part, maintain their value much better than pretty much most of the other tech products out there. But if you're not committed to persevering through those hurdles, then honestly just stick with Apple's significantly lower priced options, which are equally just as capable, minus the materials. Alright guys, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it was beneficial to you and you found it helpful, or maybe it scratched your itch of curiosity and you found this video entertaining, which is also super important to me. If you like this video, then make sure you guys go ahead and crush that like button. If you like content around tech, gadgets, filmmaking, and lifestyle, then make sure you guys go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And as usual, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your time. 2 puns in 1. Sorry, I just had to do it. I just had to. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Arif, who helped me with all the shots in the intro story sequence, and also to Dr. Malik, who allowed us to use his clinic and also performed a phenomenal job at acting. Thank you to both of these guys. Without them, this video would not have been possible at all. Do I? That's the trick, man. That's the trick. Never show them your real face. Also, yes, I am wearing a Tim Apple shirt. Shout out to Jonathan Morrison. These things are dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally forgot what I was gonna say next. How did this even work? I'm too wide for it.
Oh my goodness.
Is this true?
Yes, it might be true. You are actually too big for this.
Are you recording this? Really? That's fine, that's fine. I'll let it fly. I'll let it fly. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, buddy. Let's keep it 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you become a doctor. Look at this man's whip. MashaAllah.